Welcome back, Sister Nerd fans, and today I will be giving my full in-depth review on Wildcat, a GCI wooden coaster at Hershey Park. But first, before we get into this review, if you guys could please like this video, also subscribe, and also leave a comment down below. That really does help my channel out, and also it helps me figure out what you guys want me to produce. But anyway, let's get started on this review. So, of course, Wildcat was the first GCI wooden coaster that GCI has ever made, or first roller coaster they ever made in general. And honestly, it's gotten a bad rap in the community for being rough and slow and just boring. But honestly, I actually really like Wildcat. I think it's a super, super underrated roller coaster. Definitely doesn't get as much credit as it deserves. I get it, it's their first creation, but I honestly don't feel like it's one of the worst GCIs out there. Even the roller coaster across the park from Wildcat, Lightning Racer, I actually think is actually a lot worse than Wildcat. Um, anyway, Wildcat, I don't also feel like a lot of people complain it doesn't have much airtime. I really don't feel like it was intended to be giving lots of airtime. I feel like it's definitely a coaster that was supposed to be focusing on the laterals and just quick transitions. I mean, I will say it does have a bit of a pacing problem, but I don't think it's as bad as what people complain about it to be. But anyway, I also really do like, I'll talk a little bit about the queue. The queue is really long. It's feels like a half-mile walk from the entrance of the queue to the end of the queue, to where the station is. But the queue does actually run alongside, because of course you're going up towards the station, so the elevation that you get from the feels like the bottom of the hill, I guess you would say, but it feels kind of like flat ground. It's kind of hard to say. But anyway, you can see like the whole layout of Wildcat, and I really do think it's cool. You get some really nice pictures up there, and of course, this ride does have bins on the platform where you can put your stuff in, so you can take your camera if you want to take really nice pictures of Wildcat. And I got some nice pictures of Wildcat in line, and honestly, I think that was probably the coolest experiences I've ever had. Also, it kind of doesn't feel like it's part of Hershey Park because there's a bunch of trees around it throughout the queue. Also, the logo is pretty well done. It definitely has a 90s vibe to it. The station has a 90s vibes. Same with the artwork for the logo, and the queue is definitely an 80s vibe or 90s vibe. Same with the lights around the coaster. Those even feel like at least late 80s, early 90s light vibe. Because it's not like the traditional light strips that you see nowadays on roller coasters. It's more like the old Arrow, like from what they had for Vortex. Basically, they just have a bunch of light bulbs, like Christmas lights, up and down the whole entire rails of the track. So it definitely has an older vibe to it, but this coaster really isn't that rough. I honestly find it pretty smooth. But of course, it's not my favorite GCI or even my favorite wood coaster, but I do find this coaster very underrated. So for my final score out of 10, I'd probably give it about a 6. I don't hate it, but I definitely don't love it either. Definitely not one of my favorite coasters I've ridden out of 150. But anyway, if you guys want to check out more playlists like this, or more reviews, I have a whole playlist, coaster reviews. I'll put a little tab on top. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and leave a like, leave a comment, and please subscribe, and we'll see you guys out in the queues.